guys, we like to have fun.
Download the Odyssey app today and stream KDAWN anytime, anywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, Las Vegas. What's going on? Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. It is the best in pro wrestling news, entertainment, hijinks, and shenanigans. And we are very happy to have you joining us wherever you are, whether it's on your radio dial at 101.5, the Odyssey app, AUDACY. Download that app and you won't get thrown over the top rope, we promise. And of course, we're also streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Just look up the Mark Hoke Show and you can hop in and chat with us. Because obviously, I think there's something pretty big we had to talk about that happened yesterday. Maybe. I guess we'll do it. But I've got to bring in the guys that I want to chat with on the show. Let's start off with our good friend from Austin, Texas, Stu Myrick of Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. Stu, when were you eliminated from the Rumble last night?
Let's see. Probably around 11 p.m. Central.
Fair enough.
About when I went to bed, so you know.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. And also with us today, we want to welcome back our good friend, Jason Halperin. Jason.
Morning, gentlemen.
When did you get thrown out of the Rumble?
Oh, wow. It would have been about the time that Charlotte Flair went on to her press conference. Would have been about the time that I got eliminated.
See, I was supposed to have Tozawa's spot, but I decided to be and let him have it. And boy, that turned out to be a good decision on my part.
Yeah. I show speed, you know, man, talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh,
yeah. That was a brutal spear.
Yes, it was.
And I still don't know who that guy is, but okay. That's okay. I'm old.
Well, he's a streamer.
See, that's why I don't know who he is.
Yeah. Good friend of
I don't live on YouTube. That's the thing.
Well, you know, a Google search will take care of that.
If I cared about it, sure.
Okay, fair enough.
I chose the easier way to find out who he was. I asked my son.
Ah!
See, you've got the resource right there.
Exactly.
I don't have that resource here, so you know.
I can't believe we're talking about him first, but you know, it was funny though. I did tell my daughter that I Show Speed got in the Rumble, and she's 16, and she was like, "What? I Show Speed?" I told him, "Yeah, he got decked," and I showed him the video, and she was laughing her head off. So, all right,
yeah,
I guess he's hip with the kids, so all good. But we, of course, experienced the Royal Rumble yesterday, and what a wild night it was. Boy, I'll tell you, I think let's just start going down through the card and take it from there. And, you know, reactions to what happened. Of course, the women's match led things off. Just, you know, the match itself, I thought was pretty good. I had very little problems with anything that happened in the ring. Maybe a little too much time in between, a little dancing around. But otherwise, you know, I thought the match was very good. You know, I think, unfortunately, the ending may have gotten spoiled when Charlotte came back about a week and a half beforehand and said she was going to be in, because I think we all knew Charlotte was going to win this thing. But overall, I thought the match was really good. Stu, what did you think?
Yeah, it was fine. You know, it was. It's hard to you know, try to be critical on technique when it comes to battle royals or the Royal Rumble or whatever, because it's not technique. It's just make yourself seen in the ring, and then of course, you know, we wait for whoever's going to win. Yeah, I don't think anybody expected anything other than Charlotte Flair winning. So, and congrats to her. We had some good tenures. Shout out to Texas's own Roxanne Perez.
Oh,
she broke the record for time in the Rumble. So good on her from down in Laredo. It was, we saw some returns. Alexa Bliss is back, contrary to all the reports. And it was kind of funny that Michael Cole,
even
mentioned as such on the commentary. Saw pretty decent representation from NXT with Stephanie McCool, Lash Legend, and of course the NXT Women's Champion Julia. So that was and Jada Parker. Let's not forget her. All in all, I think it went kind of, as you would say, it's by the numbers.
Jason, what were your thoughts on the match itself?
I thought it was entertaining. I really did. I was not disappointed with it. As Stu was saying, I think we all expected, Charlotte Flair, once she announced she was going to be in it, that she was going to be the winner. They're really going to push her hard now that she's back. I like seeing Jordan Grace in it. I thought she performed pretty well in it. The two I didn't care for. I didn't think they needed both of them in it. I don't think they needed both Nikki Bella and Trish Stratus in there. I think they could have maybe found someone else to take one of those spots, to be honest with you. And I really expected, for some reason, I was really expecting to see the man come back in this one to make an appearance. Just make an appearance, kind of. I think I would have been more entertained seeing her in it than either Stratus or Bella, to be honest.
I agree. And the other thing was, so, in the men's match, we had Joe Hendry, the TNA World Champion. We did not see Masha Slamovich, who is the current TNA Knockouts World Champion. Didn't see her in there either. And yeah, I'm with Jason. I think, we've gotten past the whole, let's see if we can bring some legends into the match. I think we've gotten past that, mainly because the rosters are so stacked. You don't really need them to fill the slots. And so, Nikki Bella and Trish Stratus, nobody expected them to win. Was it, I mean, I guess it was kind of cool to see the nostalgia, but yeah, I think I would have rather seen either two women from, the current roster, or maybe bring in somebody from NXT rather than seeing two legends in there.
Just the overall composition of the field. And, I know I was talking to Phil last night too, unfortunately got hung up and can't join us, but I said to Phil that the level of talent that was in that ring last night was phenomenal. I mean, when you look at top to bottom, just who is in there, very, very few people that I was like, why is that person in there? I mean, I won't say the one person I was really thinking of, but otherwise, WWE is in such great shape with that women's roster. And I think that put that on blast to everybody last night. And, part of that too is you've got from NXT, Julie's down there and Stephanie McCool's down there, so that doesn't hurt, and, I mean, those two, probably could have been on the main roster if they wanted to, but that was something that really impressed me last night, that just so much talent that WWE has, man. Fighting for spots is going to be rough over the next couple of years. And, people like Bayley and so on are going to have to try to hold on, man, because it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, you're right. Mentioning Roxanne, and yeah, she's still technically on NXT. I think it's past time for her to join the main roster. I know she's got the triple threat title match coming up. I think it's this week on what they calling it, Vengeance Day or whatever.
And yeah,
I suspect that might be her farewell. You got to believe, with the strong showing she had. I mean, it was her and Charlotte, the final two. So you got to believe they are planning to bring her up, imminently, and probably after that triple threat match. at Vengeance Day.
Yeah, and Jason's such a contrast between the two of them too. I mean, Charlotte, the statuesque volleyball player, and Roxanne Perez, who barely came up to my shoulder when I interviewed her. She's doing everything off the second rope. I mean, it is time for Roxanne Perez to get her flowers and get up there. She is so incredible in the ring, and you just looking at her, you wouldn't believe it. But just a great job last night, and she should be more than fired up to get up to that main roster.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna be up on the main roster soon. It's one of those. I wouldn't surprise me if they held her if she starts making more appearances on the main roster, but doesn't actually hit the main roster until they do the draft. I think that could be an exciting one that they kind of push through the draft to really show, kind of like they did with a Carmelo Hayes type thing, and make her a high pick early in the draft.
We don't need the draft. We don't need the draft.
We just had this transfer window thing, it's like kind of like
the
sport on college football. It's like, all right, we just had this. Why have a draft?
Everybody's moving around anyway.
Yeah. The transfer window is actually kind of good that they kind of parlayed that off of the whole transfer portal with college football and just college sports in general. Yeah. It was a nice little change. I don't think they pushed it enough, though, to be honest with you. I think they could have made it a bigger push.
Well, and I think it was probably a little bit of experimental, but I think it was a success, and I hope they bring it back.
Some other people that were in the match, and I want to get your thoughts on. Well, first, the return of Alexa Bliss. That certainly there was stories out there that that they were trying to renegotiate a contract. They didn't pull it off, and of course, there she is. That's a big return. And especially if she's going to be with the Wyatt Six, and she had a reference to Bray Wyatt on her jacket when she came in. How big of a deal is it to have Alexa Bliss back in WWE?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. Now, personally, I would not put her with the Wyatt Six. I want to see the 5 Feet of Fury. Let's go back to the old Alexa Bliss, that was winning titles and just wreaking havoc. I don't think she needs to be a part of the Wyatt Six, and I'm not sure it would do much really for that group.
Jason, what do you think? With
the two returns that they have with both Bliss and Flair coming back, I don't think she's going to be with the Wyatt Six, because I see Flair is going to be on SmackDown. Flair will stay there, and I think Alexa Bliss is going to Raw. Is where they're going to have her. I don't think she's going to be transferring between both shows. I think they're going to make her a Raw staple. So I don't see her with the Wyatt Six. I see her trying to stand on her own again and going after titles.
Another group of people that were in this match last night, the Pure Fusion Collective, and that those initials have to stand for something because the name's terrible. But the group itself was Sonya Deville, Zoe Stark, and Shayna Baszler. It looked pretty good last night, I thought. And I really want to see them do more with those three. I mean, Zoe got on the radar again when she did that drop kick off the top rope and decked somebody. But what do you guys think of that group? And should they be getting pushed harder? Jason, I'll give that to you first.
I definitely think they should be getting pushed harder, especially Stark and Baszler. I was really surprised they haven't been pushing them harder in the tag team division. Of course, once again, when you only have, one set of tag team championships for the women right now instead of having two like you do with the men, I guess it's a little harder to push them. But I definitely think they should be getting pushed harder than they are.
Stu, do you like them?
They're okay. I like Shayna. I think she needs to be pushed. She needs to be pushed as the badass that we saw in NXT. Zoe Stark's uber talented. Sonya's got skills. I don't know what I feel. I don't know how I feel about the group. Yeah, the name's got to refer to something that probably can't be said on television.
Probably.
Which is fine. It makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't know. I think the jury's still out on the trio, but I mean I like the parts. I'm not sure about the trio.
Okay, fair enough. See a couple other ones last night. another one I want to throw out there that I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts about is Maxine Dupree. She was really raw, and we all know that. But, I'm starting to really like her ring presence a little bit. Still has a long way to go in terms of wrestling skill, I think. But she's starting to get it. And, this feud with Ivy Nile, it could be kind of fun. I'm not against it. Stu, how do you feel about her progress?
It was, what's funny is I think they tried to start a feud with them, and then they kind of just dropped it. So yeah, I'd like to see them revisit that. Yeah, I like Maxine. I think she's getting better in the ring. She still needs more seasoning. And that's, just get her some more reps. But yeah, let's revisit this whole feud with Ivy Nile. Maybe that helps, get her skill up. She's still better than Eva Marie. I'm
dropping that knife in there.
Look, I have all the respect in the world for anybody who climbs through those ropes to wrestle. I really do. The 2-3 times they brought her back, I have no clue what they saw in Eva Marie other than a pretty face.
Fair
I'll
enough.
be honest. I think I might have more skills than Eva Marie.
Wow.
And I've never trained.
Stu Myrick, speaking the truth there. Jason, let me ask you a little bit about Julia and Stephanie McCord, because I thought, once again, a great showing for those two. Very experienced, top-level international talent coming in. And, of course, Julie's got the NXT championship. Those two futures so bright. And, what do you think of them and what they did last night?
I think they were great. I think they represented NXT really well in there. I think that they're future stars on the main roster. But like we said, right now that the main roster is just so talented from top to bottom. It's about making space for them. That's the problem you're into right now, is making space. But I think they were able to showcase their talents last night on a much larger stage than what they've been. I think it's only a matter of time before they're able to bring these women up.
Yeah. All right, let's get a break here, and when we come back, let's take a look at the fallout for the women from the Royal Rumble, and then we'll move on to a couple other matches that took place, and then I'm sure we'll be talking about the men for a while today here on the Mark Hoke Show. It's the Best in Pro Wrestling. I've got Stu Myrick with me from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling, Jason Halperin from pretty much everywhere. He does everything. Soccer coach extraordinaire. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
Nevada SPCA is the community shelter, funded by the community for the community. I'm Executive Director Lori Herron. We are the original no-kill animal shelter in Southern Nevada, where our most vulnerable pets are at home until they find a new one. Take a dog on a field trip, foster a kitten, volunteer with your family, and best of all, consider adding a new member to your home by adopting. Give happiness today at nevadaspca.org.
Find happiness, Nevada SPCA.
Hey there, I'm Healthy Hank, your health hero, here to give you little habits for healthy travels. Picture this, you're loading up to hit the road for a day trip with the fam, and you've got a sneezy situation on your hand. A simple act like covering your cough or sneeze into your elbow or a tissue can make a world of difference. And if you're feeling a supervillain brewing inside you, do us all a favor and stay home. Together, we can ensure a safe and healthy journey for everyone. This message is sponsored by a CDC grant through the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
1015 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
All right, let's get back to it. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment here on the Mark Hoke Show. Of course, we're on 1015 FM KDAWN, the Odyssey app, so you can hear us everywhere. And you can see us everywhere if you go to the Mark Hoke Show on YouTube, the Mark Hoke Show on Facebook, or at Mark Hoke Show on X. Join us there and tell us your thoughts on the Royal Rumble, guys. We want to hear it. We want to get your opinions and let us know. What are we right, wrong, or just 3 really handsome guys?
Unlike Simon Miller that says, he's a bald idiot, which he's not. He's one of my favorite guys.
No,
I love Simon.
He's not. By the way, in the chat box, guys, we got to do it. Mark, the Bionic Scoop is in there. Great photographer of pro wrestling and beyond. Said, Mark, Stu, Jason. So let's give him the scoop.
Scoop.
Wow. That was a morning scoop. Sorry, Scoop. I'll tell him to do better next time.
Still trying to wake up here.
That's all good.
Working on it.
Well, of course, Charlotte Flair winning the Women's Royal Rumble match. So she will be one of the main eventers at WrestleMania. Who do you put her against? Is it another round with Rhea, or is she going after Tiffany? Stu, what do you think?
Oh man, that's you got great stuff either way. Now, before I get to that though, I have a problem with them saying main event WrestleMania because they can pivot, and they don't know who's going to be in the main event or what's going to be in the main event. And I know they've done this whole co-main event in recent years, which be that as may. So Charlotte Flair has a choice. They can revisit her and Rhea from when Charlotte beat Rhea for the NXT Women's title. Or
of course that great WrestleMania match in LA too.
Yeah. Or they could go Tiffany, because there's been a lot of talk about Tiffany Stratton wants to wrestle Charlotte Flair. If I had to put money on it, I think they might go Tiffany.
I think so too. Jason, what do you think?
I definitely think they're going Tiffany on this one. Like I said before, Charlotte's going to be on SmackDown. That's only makes sense to me to see her go after Tiffany and leave Rhea open. You can still revisit the whole Rhea, Liv Morgan. You've got Bayley over on the other show now. They basically made room for Charlotte on SmackDown. So to me, it only makes sense to see her go after Tiffany.
That's going to be 2 great athletes.
Plus, we still haven't seen Becky Lynch come back, and maybe she finds her way into challenging Rhea Ripley.
If she walks in the door, that's the match. I think that'll happen. It's just so weird that she's not around though, and people are really speculating about this. But I mean, everybody's out thinking the room. But if Becky does show up, I would definitely go Charlotte, Tiffany, and then Becky and Rhea. Of course, they both have to stay champions. We've still got one more pay-per-view to come up. So Nia Jax is probably about ready to kill Tiff.
That's true. You got Elimination Chamber coming up 1 month from yesterday.
Yeah.
In Toronto. And I assume they'll do a women's Elimination Chamber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You would think.
So you got to imagine that'll be for Rhea, assuming Charlotte goes after Tiffany, you got to assume that match will be for Rhea's title,
Yeah.
Set up Rhea's opponent.
Yeah, and a lot of great people that could go after that. So, any other thoughts about anybody else, where we're headed? Maybe, I'm curious, like Raquel and Liv, maybe they're going to get the tag title matchup at WrestleMania. It looked like there were little hints at that, but I don't know. There's a lot of people that got bounced around last night.
It's possible. I mean, we were talking about Pure Fusion Collective. You could see Zoe and Shayna again. The problem with trying to slot a challenger for Bianca and Naomi is that most of the combinations we've seen them recently. There's just not a lot of combinations, tag teams, whatever that you could form that hasn't already been beaten by Bianca and Naomi or Bianca and Jade in recent months. So it's kind of hard to determine. Not to mention we still got to, allegedly Jade Cargill may be coming back, and then we got to do the whole, who attacked Jade, which what's funny is everybody's saying Naomi. I'm going, I think it might be Bianca.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't know. There's something about it that I could be totally wrong, but I don't know. That just seems to, stick with me.
Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see how all the ladies work things out headed into WrestleMania season. So that covers the Women's Royal Rumble match. And then we'll go to the tag match and the Motor City Machine Guns. I almost had to hit the dump button on that. Taking on DIY, and I was so excited for this best of 3 falls match. I even texted Phil last night and said, "Dad, give him 2 hours." I think they got about 14 minutes, maybe, for that. And I hate to say it, and I love those two teams, and they're so good, but that match just didn't work. If it was just the time constraints or what. And then the ending was just bizarre with the Street Profits coming in and, stopping the Guns from winning the championship. And even Wade Barrett couldn't explain it away. And Michael Cole's trying to come up with a storyline there real quick because it was just weird. Jason, what did you think of the match and how that turned out?
Well, I'll start with the Street Profits coming in. I predicted there was going to be interference in the match to help DIY retain. My thoughts were going to be Pretty Deadly, though, not the Street Profits. I really thought you get, once again, you had the fallout between Pretty Deadly and DIY. Thought that was going to be another one of the little tricks kind of for show, and then they would come in, save them, and get it, and then get their title match moving forward. I kind of see the storyline of the Profits. It just didn't do it for me. Of saying, okay, we want to be the ones to take the titles from them since they screwed us out of our title shot. It
fell flat.
It just didn't work for me. It wasn't sold well enough.
No, Stu, you were kind of cringing too when I was talking about it.
The problem is we've seen the Street Profits get beat by both DIY and Motor City Machine Guns. So it's kind of like, why are you propping them up, as a challenger? It's on top of that. I don't know if I guess they're going to be tweeners. I know that the last time they tried to make them heel, I don't think it took. This one, and look, admittedly, I think expectations were high because of the participants in the match. So I don't know if maybe the match suffered from high expectations. I'm with you, Mark. I think, Pretty Deadly, Los Garza. There are WWE has finally figured out, hey, tag teams can work, and they now have some tag teams. Put any other tag team in there. Why go back to the Street Profits again?
Yeah, it does feel very recycled, and just the whole thing didn't make sense last night, and it's really a shame because and even worse for the Motor City Machine Guns, because of course they came in much hyped up, win the championship right away, and now they're losing matches all over the place. And this one obviously wasn't their fault in terms of the story there, but I feel like they got hurt last night too. I really do.
Well, they did win. Who they beat on SmackDown a week ago? Was it Los Garza?
I think so. Yeah.
So they're not. It's not like they're getting buried or anything. Again, I think it's simply a matter of had such high expectations. Look, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, they've been a tag team for a long time. Of course, multiple time TNA tag team champions. One of the best tag teams on the planet. I don't know. I wouldn't say they're getting buried just yet. Let's see what happens in the next few weeks before we, but yeah, I didn't expect the Guns to win, but again, why Street Profits again?
The thing that surprised me with the Street Profits is I really thought they're at the point now where I really think you should really almost break that team up at this point. I think that Montez Ford especially could have a great singles career. I don't know why they keep trying to push them, but they don't push them hard enough. They're kind of in that for as far as the tag team division goes, they're like a mid-level is all they are at this point. So I don't know why you're trying to push them, but you don't push them up to a championship again. Either give them the championship or break them up at this point.
And Buying Scoop in the chat box says, I was happy to see the reaction MCMG got. Finish fell flat for me, and I would echo those sentiments.
Yeah. They've talked about breaking up the Street Profits for, I think, the last year, and they haven't done it, which I don't know. Yeah, if you break them up, Montez Ford gets a singles push. What do you do with Dawkins? It's one of those things where, one part of one half of the tag team is hotter than the other. Does Dawkins get any type of push? Does he go back to NXT? What? And I don't know. It's kind of like, all right, fine. Let's break them up. But they've been talking about that for at least a year, and they haven't pulled the trigger. So I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. Popular team must sell a lot of merch, because that might be the only reason they haven't broken them up yet. All right, let's take another break here on the Mark Hoke Show, and when we come back, we're going to talk about one of the most brutal ladder matches I think we've seen in a while, with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Yeah, they tried to put each other in the hospital. They were working on it. But a great match, and we'll get the guys' thoughts, and where does Cody and Kevin go from here? Stick around. We got a lot more on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN. I got Stu Myrick and Jason Halperin with me along for the ride. We'll be right back.
There is no known safe amount of marijuana use during pregnancy. Marijuana is not safe for pregnant or breastfeeding women and their babies. Everything a mother eats, drinks, or smokes affects her developing baby or enters her breast milk. Just like alcohol and tobacco, using marijuana can have negative effects for your baby. Any form of marijuana may be harmful during pregnancy and while breastfeeding. Marijuana can affect your ability to care for your baby or someone else's baby. It is best for women to quit using while pregnant and breastfeeding. If you are pregnant or a new mother using marijuana, you are urged to seek help to quit. Pregnant women receive priority admission at state-funded treatment centers. Visit SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org. That's SoberMomsHealthyBabies.org or call 211. This message sponsored by the Nevada Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and the station.
The county just requested more electric charging stations.
Orders have really amped up at Able Electric.
We need 3 more at First in Maine, and we just got another hotel chain.
It's no shock. Able Electric needs able electricians.
Grocery store wants charging stations too.
And fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Right now at Wendy's, get 2 of these fave items for just $7. The spicier classic chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs. It's an incredible deal, but an insanely difficult choice. Do you go double chicky sando, both spicy and classic, 1 beefy and 1 chicky? Or maybe you go all in on one and go Nug Max. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time only. Select a request 2 for $7 deal to redeem. Not valid in a combo or with saucy nugs. Single item at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
From taking on extra shifts to the years of hard work, the success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. Classes start February 12th. Apply now and save with no application fee. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid classes. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we are back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 1015 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. KDAWN's top rated live show. Gotta love that. Makes me happy. Thank you for listening, everybody. We really do appreciate it. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment right here. And we've got myself, your host, Mark Hoke, along with Stu Myrick from Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. Awesome show. You got to check it out. That's also on the Odyssey app. Jason Halperin is just hanging around. He's like the guy that just knows every sport on the planet and everybody talks to him. He's amazing. And he knows pro wrestling too. So,
Jason, do you know NASCAR?
A little bit, not as much as I used to.
All right, I'm gonna watch Clash tonight. I'm covering the Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix that's coming to Circuit of the Americas here in Austin in a few weeks. So I gotta get my NASCAR in early.
Got to brush up on it and get ready for it.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, Matthew Rodriguez in the chat box was talking about a fantasy Final Four of the women's. So we wrap that up. His fantasy Final Four would be Charlotte, Io Sky, Roxanne, and Mariah May. That'd be a fun group to finish a Royal Rumble. Not going to happen.
I mean, if you're going to do a Forbidden Door, you can insert any AEW, women, female competitor. You can, for that matter, get Toni Storm, get Thunder Rosa, get
Britt Baker.
Yeah, get Britt. Any one of them. I mean, if you're going to go Forbidden Door, or for that matter, get I don't know. It's get Athena, the forever Ring of Honor World Champion.
Bring her back. Bring her back.
Another Texas native too.
Yeah, so there's a nice thought from Matthew Rodriguez. All right, let's talk about this brutal ladder match between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. I'm guessing this is the blow off. Sami Zayn was out there hanging around, didn't do anything, which I think kind of shocked some people that he didn't do anything. But dear God, those guys took a beating last night. Just the drops off the the one Kevin Owens took at the end with the Alabama Slam to wrap the match up into a ladder that was draped over between the announcer's table and the ring. Good Lord. Kevin was just rolled up in a ball. And I'm forgetting the move that he did that was that a fisherman suplex or something like that he did to Cody that he ended up.
Yes.
That he bounced it. Not only did Cody go off the ladder, but Kevin bounced his head off the back of the ladder too. I mean, Kevin was just a bloody mess after that was over. But guys, I really thought this was a terrific match. And it's a shame it's going to be over between those guys because the feud was terrific, I thought. But Jason, your thoughts on what happened last night between Cody and Kevin Owens?
I would have to say for about 50% of the match, I was not entertained, to be honest with you. About the first half of the match, it just seemed kind of slow. It just didn't do a lot. Cody took him into the crowd. Didn't really have a lot of excitement for me. When they came back from the crowd is when it started to get good. And definitely the ending, look, everyone knew Cody's going to win this match. It wasn't a surprise that he didn't win the match. But the brutality that started coming on when they came back from the crowd was ridiculous. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. I also really thought that when Cody was hanging from the belt, I actually thought he was going to fall. At that point, I did not think he was going to be able to get back to a ladder. I thought somehow they're going to have him drop the 20 feet there,
which would have been very bad.
Yes.
Stu?
Yes. No, I agree. It felt a little, kind of a throwback to Jeff Hardy, all those years ago. It was, I agree with Jason. Especially when they came back, out of the crowd. Man, they ratcheted up the violence. It was brutal. There was a moment, and I guess I noticed it, post match when they were trying to, you had the medical staff and everything helping out Kevin Owens. It looked like, and maybe it was just the way the blood was flowing, but it looked like he had a gash kind of almost completely across his forehead, which, it just looked gnarly. The Sami Zayn thing was interesting because, yeah, Sami didn't get involved. He kept checking on Kevin, and you kept seeing, or at least 2 or 3 times, you saw these visual exchanges, shall we say, between Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes. Leads me to believe there's going to be something between Cody and Sami. I don't know if they do it in Toronto. It could. It's possible. Although that would be, so have Sami go after the title at Elimination Chamber in Canada again. So I don't know, but just felt like there's a story to be told there. But otherwise, yeah, it was just, man, that was brutal. I suspect we won't see KO on our screens for a few weeks. Cody has said he's going to be on SmackDown this Friday, although he's banged up.
Yeah, there were reports that were saying that he was legit messed up from this match.
Yeah, so I'll be interested to see what direction they go. And like I said, I'm gonna keep my eye on the whole Sami Zayn Cody Rhodes thing because I think they may be planting a seed for that.
I'm almost wondering if we're maybe going to get Sami and Kevin at WrestleMania too, with Kevin maybe not being happy with Sami. They didn't help him out. So, we could possibly be seeing Kevin and Sami getting it on again at WrestleMania. And Bionic Scoop here in the chat box had a good point, said, showed the killer instinct from the darker sides of Cody's character. And I've noticed that in a lot of Cody's matches that he's defended the championship, there's always been something a little bit extra nasty that he's been doing at the end of matches. Like, like this one, like the AJ Styles, like the I Quit match. I mean, he gave a little extra to AJ that he didn't have to do. There's something up, and I can't put my finger on it. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying there's a heel turn, but Cody is definitely showing a little bit of a darker side in the ring, I think.
You could even see that when he had his one-on-one with Punk on SmackDown. At the end of the Friday Night SmackDown this week, you could kind of see that little darker or darkness to him starting to come out even more.
And with rumors of him possibly taking on John Cena. Oh, Stu, I know you hate when this gets brought up, but could we see a turn of Cody Rhodes if he's wrestling? Let's just say he's wrestling John Cena. Could we see Cody flip out on John Cena at WrestleMania or something like that?
I don't know.
Listen to that.
Well,
you said I don't know as opposed to shut up, you're wrong.
No, not necessarily. Well, but here's the thing, though. So think back to all the times they wanted, that fans wanted John Cena to turn heel. And the primary reason we always heard that they didn't was the merch sales, too important to all the different endeavors, all that good stuff. And I wonder if Cody is not completely in the same ilk, but he's kind of there. He's usually at very least top 5, usually top 3 in merch sales. Does all this, usually at the end of if he's at a live event, he's got a kid or somebody that he gives them one of the weight belts or something like that. So I don't think they're going to turn him heel.
But
I could see maybe kind of what you're saying about maybe we'll see the darker side maybe a little more prevalent, not necessarily like taking over, but shades of gray kind of. I could see that. I don't think they're going to turn him heel. I think he will stay a babyface at least as long as he's champion. Now, once he loses that title, and he'll lose the title eventually.
Does he lose his mind after he loses the belt?
Yeah, then let's see what happens.
Yeah. So to wrap this up, we got about a minute-ish. Who's Cody's opponent at WrestleMania, guys? If you were picking right now, who is it? Stu. Stu's thinking.
I'm going to say Punk.
He's going to say Punk. Jason.
Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber, Punk at Mania.
All right. Jason, who is it?
I think we keep Punk out of the main event still. I'm going the final boss.
And that is a distinct possibility. They've held The Rock back out of it, saying, hey, I'm not going to be there. And, it's gotten a little quiet on the Rock front. And that's just the time that they love to spring it on you. So I wouldn't be surprised either. I just can't see that Cena thing. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I don't know. We'll find out as we head down the road to WrestleMania. And, of course, Elimination Chamber coming up here in another month. So should be an exciting run to here in Las Vegas at WrestleMania. So make sure you guys get your tickets, and the calendars are up for everything going on. It is going to be one hell of a week here in Sin City. And we hope you'll come out and say hi to us here in Las Vegas. All right. And we're going to head to our second hour here in just a little bit. So hopefully everybody will stick around as we break down the men's Royal Rumble. And there is a lot to digest. This is like a Thanksgiving dinner of what happened what's going to happen, who's mad, who's happy. I mean, just all sorts of neat stuff come out of what has been regarded as one of the best men's Royal Rumble matches of all time. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us here. You can follow me at Mark Hoke Show. Stu Myrick is at Stu Myrick, SCEWMYRCK, with the Sports Guys Talking Wrestling Show. And Jason Halperin is at LV_HitMN. So give everybody a follow, say hi to us, and get in that chat box. We'll talk that men's Royal Rumble match when we return on the Mark Hoke Show. We'll be right back. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm John Walsh here for Omega XL. Do you suffer from muscle pain and soreness due to overuse, daily activities, exercise, or aging like I do? Do you feel it in your back, your neck, knees, or joints? I know I did. I finally found a solution. It's Omega XL, a clinically proven natural drug-free supplement that helps relieve daily joint pain and muscle soreness. Omega XL delivers results you can feel. Made with a proprietary oil extract from green-lip mussels, it's a powerful super oil with no fishy aftertaste, small and easy to swallow, and is 16 times more potent than standard fish oil. Omega XL has been trusted by millions for over 2 decades and is backed by 40 years of clinical research. Don't let joint aches prevent you from doing the things you love.
Call now for Omega XL's BOGO special, 800-605-1059. That's less than $20 a bottle. Remember, there's a 60-day money-back guarantee. Terms apply. 800-605-1059. 800-605-1059 or omegaxl.com/Walsh.
Family fun meets high-speed action. NASCAR returns to Las Vegas March 14th through 16th for the Pennzoil 400 race weekend at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Bring the whole family for 3 days of racing, live music, games, and more. Kids' tickets are free on Friday and Saturday and just $10 on Sunday. Parking is free. It's affordable family fun, only 10 minutes from downtown. Get your tickets at lvms.com or call 800-644-4444. Don't miss the ultimate family race weekend.
Local news can come at you fast. Want the latest on what's happening in your backyard? Download the free Odyssey app. Follow your local news station, and you'll get alerts on the top stories making headlines in your city. You can stay in the know, no matter what you're up to, and be among the first to find out when news breaks. Plus, keep tabs on weather and traffic, so you're never caught off guard. To get started, download the Odyssey app. That's AUDACY, and follow your local news station.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
Participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
KMXB HD3 Henderson, K268CS Las Vegas. Always live on the free Odyssey app. 1015 FM KDAWN.
Strikes on ISIS. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. President Trump ordering those strikes targeting leaders of the terror group in Somalia yesterday. As Fox's Madeline Rivera reports from Washington.
President Trump said he ordered the strikes on the senior ISIS attack planner and the other terrorists he recruited and led in Somalia. The president said on Truth Social, these killers who we found hiding in caves threaten the United States and our allies. The strikes destroyed the caves they live in and killed many terrorists without in any way harming civilians. The message to ISIS and all others who would attack Americans is that we will find you and we will kill you. ISIS Somalia was formed by a group of defectors from the Al-Qaeda associated group Al-Shabaab. Per a 2022 State Department assessment, ISIS Somalia remains isolated in the northern section of the country.
Hundreds of ISIS members are in Somalia, according to the International Crisis Group. The National Transportation Safety Board continues its probe into Friday's medical jet crash in Philadelphia, which left 7 dead and 19 others injured. As Fox's Nate Foy reports.
Federal investigators at the NTSB and FAA are trying to figure out what went wrong on board that jet that made it go down in under a minute. And the cockpit voice recorder will play a crucial role in determining that. That voice recorder will show pilot communications as the plane went down, which happened quickly. The Learjet 55 took off from Northeast Philadelphia Airport. It crashed right near the Roosevelt Mall. The explosion from the crash resulted in 5 home fires and destroyed several cars. At least 1 person in their car was killed, in addition to the 6 people on board the medical jet.
Meanwhile, investigators continue to probe the deadly mid-air collision near Washington, D.C. last Wednesday that killed 67 people. Conflicting altitude data shows a 100-foot discrepancy between the airliner and the Army Black Hawk helicopter. The NTSB working to determine what went wrong. America's listening to Fox News.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com. Connect to Fox News Audio on the Fox News app. Listen to hear your favorite hosts like Brian Kilmeade, Jimmy Fallon, and Guy Benson standing up for what's right, live and via podcast. Just click listen, then swipe right and hear the latest news updates on your time. And scroll down to hear the latest podcasts from Fox News. And it's even easier to listen in the car with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get programming alerts and notifications. Fox News Audio is on the Fox News app. The voices America trusts. Download it now.
Get your daily dose of news with a Fox News Rundown. A contrast of perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. Going far beyond the headlines. Tomorrow morning at 5 on 101.5 FM KDAWN.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Oh, yeah, it's little old me. What's going on, Vegas? Welcome back to the Mark Hoke Show. Hour 2 of us breaking down the Royal Rumble with Stu Myrick and Jason Halperin. Just having an awesome time today. You know, going through all the craziness that happened in Indianapolis last night. But I do have a couple things that I want to mention that are happening in Las Vegas, just in case you want to get involved. The first is AEW Collision is going to be here March 15th. So you may want to get your tickets now. It's going to be down at the Virgin Theater at the Virgin Hotel and Casino. So that'll be coming up on Saturday the 15th. And then coming up on March 23rd, this is kind of a big one. Future Stars of Wrestling is putting on a major fundraiser for Chris Bay. So this is going to be a great card because they have some terrific people coming in. Swerve Strickland's coming in, Trey Miguel, Kenny King, Brian Cage. A whole lot of people are going to be joining in for this show. So if you want to go to that, once again, it's Sunday, March 23rd. You can check out FSW Vegas and get your tickets. Also, they're looking for sponsors and things like that. And so if you want to get involved and help out, it would certainly be appreciated. So once again, that's March 23rd. Benefit for our good friend, the dashing Chris Bay, as he continues to recover from that terrible accident that happened to him in the ring. So just want to throw that out to everybody.
Love Chris. He's fantastic. He's, gotten to hang out with him several times when he wrestled here in Texas, and what a fantastic dude. So yeah, big kudos to FSW for putting on that fundraiser, and yeah, will be some serious talent there in Vegas.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So get your tickets. Once again, just go to FSW Vegas and they'll have more information for you. All right.
By the way,
good.
I want to mention, and I promoted this on my show this week. FSW is going to do Full Tilt 3 during WrestleMania weekend. It's kind of like their version of the Collective. One of the promotions that's involved, Texas Wrestling Cartel out of Corpus Christi. Fantastic promotion. So go check them out. They are going to be at the FSW Arena. I don't know Vegas that well, so
down on Harrison Street.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. So it's, let's see. Well, I know. So TWC is going to be there Friday, April 18th. I think it runs like that whole weekend, whatever. So go check it out.
Yeah, and our good friend Phil Stamper, who, like I said, unfortunately has no Wi-Fi at the facility that he's setting up for the Wrestling Revolver today, put out at least what he has so far, the full WrestleMania schedule for here in Las Vegas. So you got to check Phil out. I mean, Phil does an unbelievable job with getting the independent calendar from across the country together every week. So go to his account at Trust and Phil, and you'll be able to see the whole WrestleMania schedule, at least as is right now. So
that's always a must see. You got to have that calendar. So one event that won't be there, Super Card of Honor.
Yeah, that needs to change. I hope Tony changes his mind on that.
Man,
I really do.
I always love Super Card of Honor.
Yeah, it's fun. We'll see if Tony Khan will make a switch and get in here. We would love to see them down here. All right. We have one more match that we have not talked about yet after the first hour in the Royal Rumble yesterday, and that is the men's match, which I was absolutely, it wasn't perfect, but I was pretty blown away on this one, guys. And, we'll get into specifics, but Stu, your impressions of the men's match, how did you feel it went off? Did you like it?
Yes. Yeah. The starting off with Rey Mysterio and Penta, which if anybody that's watched Lucha Libre or anybody's followed these two individuals, to see them start off in the Rumble, that was huge. That was a big one. And I loved seeing that. I've met Rey Mysterio. I know Penta. So I mean, that was, and I gotta imagine that was a pretty cool moment for Penta as well to be with Rey Mysterio. It was a fun match. It was, I think we've gotten past the whole, kind of what I mentioned with women's match. We've gotten past, expecting legends or, your assorted whatever,
like the Repo Man showing up or something like that.
Yes, much to Simon Miller's chagrin. It was a fun match. I thought it was paced well. You had most of the heavy hitters come out in the second half of the match, which that was a lot of fun. And and the intrigue of who was going to end up winning was, I mean, especially starting when Roman Reigns came out at 16 onward, it was kind of like, okay, who ends up sticking around. So it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
What'd you think, Jason?
I really enjoyed it as well. Much like Stu was saying, leading off with Mysterio and Penta, bringing your heavy hitters on in the second half was all great. I think it allowed those guys like Mysterio, Penta, Carmelo Hayes, Santo Escobar, a lot of these guys who are not going to win the Rumble. It gave them a chance to really showcase their skills, their high-flying skills, and I think they did a really good job of doing that, and then getting your heavy hitters in there in the second half and really clearing out those guys to let the heavy hitters go at it, after Roman Reigns and such came on. I think they did a great job of doing that. Very entertaining. Definitely did a great job of keeping you in the dark as far as who was going to win this thing, because from 16 on, really, any of those guys could have won it. And I think it was a big shock as to who won it.
Yeah, and it's funny too. I'm looking at a lot of the eliminations. Penta came in second, and he was out by 14. Braun Breaker was 7th. He was out at 12. Jimmy Uso came in 10, and he was out 13th. So a lot of the guys, at least in the first 10, were out fairly quickly. Jacob Fautu got knocked out in 16th, and he had an unbelievable showing last night. Got sent packing by a very, shall we say, perturbed Braun Strowman.
Yes,
he was
absolutely.
He was not happy. But
by the way, anybody else think when you saw Penta and Santos Escobar face off, anybody get Lucha Underground flashbacks?
Yeah. There were definitely flashbacks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and that was a lot of fun. You had Chad Gable come out early in that match too with those guys, so you're continuing his Chad Gable can't beat a luchador story, and but oh man, that suplex to Otis, that was nice.
That was big.
That was nice.
Big. Yeah.
And the celebrity appearance of, if you didn't get to see what happened, was Akira Tozawa got knocked out and couldn't go down the ramp. And we had Show Speed pulled out of Gorilla to go into the ring. If you don't know who Show Speed is, he's a streamer. He's a friend of Logan Paul's. He was actually the Prime Bottle in that whole thing at WrestleMania a couple years ago. But Show Speed, and I'm going to give the man credit. He didn't stay in there very long. He helped with an elimination, and then Braun Breaker just split him in half. I mean, and I give Speed a lot of credit because he took that thing like a champ.
Yep.
He really did.
Yeah, his head bounced off the ring.
Oh,
I didn't know if he was going to get up after he got tossed.
It was very, very ugly.
Yeah, it was a little scary there for him.
It's kind of funny though.
Yeah.
Got a lot, and that got a lot of views. That was one of the clips that I kept seeing when I was going down through X. I kept seeing Show Speed get his life destroyed and his soul knocked out of his body. It was kind of fun. But now you guys started talking about, we're the midway through the match, and Joe Hendry came in there 15th, got a huge pop. So the TNA World Champion showing up at the Royal Rumble, and I can't imagine what was going through Joe's head at that point. I mean, this was just kind of a year-long quest to get the TNA title and to get that reward from WWE too. I mean, what a great moment for Joe.
Absolutely. I believe in Joe Hendry.
I believe in him too.
I loved watching Hendry doing his thing in the ring, but the funniest part about it was watching Sheamus behind him.
Yeah.
Just standing in the corner, watching him, kind of laughing like, hey, clapping, just saying, hey, just go do your thing. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
It
was good.
I thought that was great.
And it was very interesting to see him standing there with Roman Reigns in the ring. I mean, who would have thought that even a year ago that would have happened?
Yes.
No, and and I just wonder at WrestleMania if they're going to have Joe defend the title against somebody. I think that would be fun. Now, people have talked about John Cena getting another championship by winning the TNA title. I don't think that's going to happen. But it would be fun to have Cena show up on Impact.
I don't think it happened just because WrestleMania is WWE's thing, but
a little show of goodwill wouldn't hurt.
Wouldn't. Look, I would be entertained by Joe Hendry versus John Cena for the TNA World Championship. I think that would be fun.
Do you think Cena would do it though? Like let's say they came to him and said, "John, we're going to have you get your next championship, but it's going to be the TNA championship. So we're going to put you over on Joe Hendry." Do you think he'd really do it? Jason, do you think he would?
You know what? Possibly, but that's a match you would almost have to have more at Stand and Deliver than on a main card.
Yeah.
if you're gonna have it, you're gonna have it WrestleMania weekend, but it's got to have to be on during Stand and Deliver.
Plus, I don't think TNA is going to let them do a title change at a WWE event.
Yeah.
Now, if you did it at a TNA event down the road, let's say past WrestleMania, now that would be funny if John won the undisputed title and then went into TNA and picked up the TNA World Championship and actually got his 18th championship. Now, no, yeah, it's just me, but it would be cute. Be cute. No, I know you guys are laughing.
Well, because that would I think that's even a smaller chance. I could see John Cena getting a 17th world title, but I got a feeling it's going to be a WWE world title.
It's got to be
TNA world.
But
title.
the 18th title, give him the 18th title as the TNA title. That'd be.
I don't think they're going to do 18.
Yeah,
they're going to keep him at 17 just so he can break the Nature Boys record.
I don't know. 1 week reign would be fun. By the way, real quick, our good friend Phil Stamper just reporting, by the way, while we're going through the men's Royal Rumble here with Stu Myrick and Jason Halperin, that all WWE ID talent have been pulled off action from indie dates. That's interesting.
Because of this Evolve thing. So they announced last night WWE Evolve. That's going to start. It's March something on Tubi. It's going to be on Wednesday nights, so he goes up against AEW Dynamite. But yeah, I would suspect that doesn't shock me at all with them starting this Evolve thing. So, and let's see what they do with Evolve.
It could be fun.
It could be fun. I hope fans don't expect what Evolve used to be under Gabe Sapolsky. I hope they keep an open mind, because this is not going to be the Evolve where you get it's not an indie Evolve. This is going to be WWE's Evolve.
Yeah,
so it's going to be very WWE, a very WWE flavor to it,
no doubt. So just got that news from Phil, so thank you, Phil. Now, it was funny last night that there was a tweet that I sent out when I was during the men's match. I'm watching and I see Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, Punk, Rollins, AJ, and John Cena in the ring. And my original tweet said something along the lines of, what an incredible 6 guys standing in the ring. And then I realized that Jey Uso was curled up in a ball in the corner. So I had to go change my tweet to 7. But it was so amazing to me last night seeing that group of guys standing in the ring together in 2025. I mean, who would have ever thought? I mean, how many years of talent and main events and championships were at that point in the ring was just stunning. It was an incredible sight to me.
Outside of Jay, I think all of them former world champions multiple times.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, that's, and again, that's kind of what we were talking about with that second half, from 16 on. I mean, everybody that was coming out, man, it was like, okay, yeah, this guy could win. Okay, this guy could win. Okay, this guy could win. I mean, the one guy that I kind of have a feeling wasn't going to win was Logan Paul, which, personally, I was glad that he got eliminated by Damian. I'm a big fan of Damian Priest anyway, so that made me smile. But everybody else in there, I was like, okay, yeah, this guy could do it.
Yeah, the run there from that Stu's talking about from 15 and 16 on, it went Henry, Reigns, McIntyre, Finn Balor, Shinsuke Nakamura, Jey Uso, AJ Styles, Braun Strowman, and then you had Cena, Punk, and Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Just wow.
Yeah.
So the funny part was when you got to that point of the 7 guys in the ring, then all of a sudden when everybody is the 6 of, they're just all fighting it out, and you end up Dominic Mysterio comes out and just, and I got to tell you, whoever put this match together is just a genius, absolute genius. They paced this right. And, just when you're getting so hyped up for a group of guys like that, here comes Dirty Dom.
Yep.
They
did well.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Sami Zayn came out, Damian Priest came out, then it was LA Knight and Logan Paul comes out 30th to a chorus of boos, to say the least. And then as time went on, we get this whittled down, and Roman and Seth get into it. Everybody else is on the ground. They have a chance to clear the ring out, and they decided they were going to take on each other, and it got nasty. And then CM Punk throws them both out, and then Logan Paul dumps CM Punk. And that the brawl afterward, and I got to tell you, I was a little worried about Roman, because that Roman took a double stomp on the floor, and that did not, from Seth Rollins, and that did not look good. And it was funny that every time Seth knocks out Roman, then he's going after CM Punk, and they're fighting. And then after he gets rid of CM Punk, he goes back to Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman's just standing there flipping out. It was just an amazing exchange on the outside of the ring that is obviously going to have some ramifications as we move forward. But then we get down to the final three, and you got Logan Paul and John Cena and Jey Uso in the ring. And all the betting odds were on John Cena. I had just checked him again. He was actually the only guy in a positive number. Cena manages to ditch Paul, and then you're standing there with Jey Uso and John Cena. And I'm curious, because they had a really good stare down there. Jason, what were you thinking when you saw that it was down to Uso and John Cena?
At that point, I thought actually they were going to have Cena get to main event WrestleMania one last time. I really thought at that point they were going to. I was actually really glad that Logan Paul, much like Stu was saying, got eliminated and was not one of the final two. But I really did not think that Jey Uso was going to be the guy that was going to take Cena out and win the whole thing. At that point, I thought for sure it was going to be Cena.
What were you thinking when you saw that, Stu?
Same thing. I thought, okay, here we go. We're gonna, Cena's gonna make the run, and then Jay eliminates John, and it was like, okay, very interesting, and good on Cena to get back in the ring and give Jey Uso his flowers. I loved on the post show Big E was so emotional, just praising Jey Uso. You think back to the rivalry that the Usos and New Day had back in the day, and so to see that kind of emotion from Big E for Jey Uso was big. Jay gets his son in there, they're yeeting. It was a fun ending to the match, and so yeah, Jey Uso gets to main event WrestleMania.
Yep. So we'll talk about that a little more when we get on the side of the break. But there's one other thing that I want to mention too, that I really was impressed that you had so many guys there that are, have been main eventing for a long time, that could have been the one, whether they said, hey, it should be me, or, Triple H could have gone to, and pulling the trigger on Jey Uso. With that group of people that he had at his disposal, what a giving gesture to Jay. I mean, because you can picture a few of those guys saying, I should win this thing, and for them to put together a match that gives a new guy a chance on top, I thought was pretty cool. And it just shows the teamwork that goes on behind the scenes in pro wrestling, because we talk so many times about how everybody individually, but I think sometimes we forget to talk about them as a group, as a traveling organization that is out there as a whole trying to entertain people. And that, to me, showed up last night with Jay winning. Jace, what do you think about that?
No, I couldn't agree more. There were definitely a lot of guys that could have said, hey, I want to be the man to win this one. And, kudos, like you were saying, kudos to Triple H for going a different direction and putting a guy like giving a guy like Uso his opportunity there to be in the spotlight. That being said, though, you have a lot of interesting storylines that are going to come out of this Royal Rumble, and it gave the WWE a lot of ammunition to go so many different directions with a few of these feuds that I'm sure we're going to get into.
Yep.
And the thing that I'm still looking at is you still have guys that weren't even in this Royal Rumble. You have guys like Randy Orton, Solo Sikoa. I mean, these guys weren't even there. And it just shows it's hats off to what you had available to use for this men's Royal Rumble. I mean, just still star-studded without, two of your biggest stars right now weren't even there.
Yeah, it was an interesting night, and we got to get the break because I'm running super long here, but we'll come back and we're going to talk about the fallout from the men's Royal Rumble match. What do we see from here, guys? Oh, baby, because it's going to be pretty special as they try to set this card up now for WrestleMania. And other than one match, we got some clues, but nothing locked in yet. And who's going to take on Cody Rhodes? We'll be back right after this on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM Talk Las Vegas. Stu Myrick, Jason Halperin, and little old me, Mark Hoke. We'll be right back.
Selling your house is always stressful,
especially in this economy.
You need a real estate agent you can trust to make the process as stress-free as possible.
And one that can get you the most money for your home.
Talk to the Brinkus team of Keller Williams Realty, The Marketplace.
They've sold over 9,000 homes in the Las Vegas area
and have helped thousands of families reach their real estate goals.
The Brinkus team's marketing is so thorough that when they list homes, they sell for top dollar.
They'll customize their strategy just for your specific needs,
including selling and buying a home simultaneously.
Yeah, I just went through that process a few years ago. It is not fun. You need somebody who knows what they're doing, and they do the heavy lifting so you can rest easy.
Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only works with the best agents in the whole country.
And guess who's the only team she trusts in all of Southern Nevada? That's right, the Brinkus team.
So just Google thebrinkusteam.com today and check out their hundreds of 5-star reviews.
That's thebrinkusteam.com.
And start packing.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Man, when I've got people in the studio, I feel like I'm back in my piano days running the board. It's crazy. I got to reach over here and there and cross over. It's a hoot. Thanks for being with us here on the Mark Hoke Show on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. We're also streaming on the Odyssey app, AUDACY. You can stream my show, all the great shows on KDAWN, and from pretty much everywhere in the world. There's a ton of stuff on there. Sports Guys Talking Wrestling is on there too, so make sure you give that a check out. We would certainly appreciate that. And I promise you that when you download that app, you're going to feel like the angel's wings have just lifted you off the ground. It's going to be fantastic. So get that app, AUDACY. We are also live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Again, I got to take care of a couple little business things real fast because we're getting ready for WrestleMania here in Las Vegas. You're going to be wanting to get your hotel rooms. And I'm telling you right now, if you go to thetravelshark.com/Hoke Show, don't forget that part because that's how I get paid, hopefully. Once again, it's thetravelshark.com/Hoke Show. There are some unbelievable deals up there right now for WrestleMania. Like I just pulled the Sahara Hotel right there on the strip. Normally is $185. It's $118 on there. What else we got? Harris is like $25 off. The Plaza's $50 off a night. I mean, that's a lot of money, guys. So I would highly suggest, like, and the one by my right near my place, the Santa Fe Station, great little hotel to stay at. $54 off a night. So go to thetravelshark.com/Hoke Show. Don't wait. Sign up and get your reservations. It's powered by Priceline. Terrific stuff. And also our good friend over at Off Grid Creations. If you guys need, maybe you want to get some cool t-shirts made up or some goofy stuff to throw around in Las Vegas, just not at me. They do custom screen printing and embroidery. Maybe you want to get, Jason's soccer team wants to get soccer balls with his face printed on them. We can do that. They can do that too. So it's like, we're
sure they'd love to kick those.
Right. Absolutely. So do me a favor and you can either go to Off-Grid Creations or give my friend Mike a call at 661-300-1115, 661-300-1115 or 1115, 661-300-1115. He's going to take care of you, I promise. Free brand consultation. He'll get you all set up. So check out our friends at Off-Grid Creations. All right. So the match is over. Well, now what, boys? Of course, Jey Uso spoiled the surprise at the ring where he mentioned that he's going to be the next world heavyweight champion and then had to go to the press conference and say, yeah, I'm wrestling Gunther. But after that, what are some of the bigger storylines that you guys see coming out of this Royal Rumble? Jason, let me start with you.
Well, obviously the biggest one has to be the Reigns, Punk, and Seth Rollins. You're gonna have some storyline going with those three. It's just too big not to. The fact that Rollins was going back and forth between each of them, for some reason, it wouldn't surprise me to see McIntyre somehow get involved in that one too. Almost setting up a Punk and Reigns versus Rollins and McIntyre somehow. Kind of going down that path. But that's definitely the biggest one that I can see moving forward.
Stu, what I know you saw that. What else you got?
Let's see. There's that. There's I wonder about obviously Chad Gable, his ongoing quest to finally overcome luchadors, that'll be in there. Jacob Fatu's an interesting one. It feels like we may revisit him and Braun Strowman again. So there's that. There's I could see, so I saw a little bit of this battle of former Bullet Club leaders with AJ Styles and Finn Balor.
Yeah,
I could see them revisit that rivalry. Let's see. As I mentioned Sami Zayn. I got a feeling there's something there between him and Cody. I don't know if it happens at Elimination Chamber. I don't know if it I don't think it'll happen at Mania. But there's something there. So I mean, it's kind of wide open.
Yeah, I mean, there's some other guys here too. With say LA Knight, what's going to happen to him? Damian Priest, and who's going to be the person that gets to draw Logan Paul at WrestleMania 2? That'll be interesting. Someone, I mean, look, you can bang on the guy all you want, but he's pretty good.
He is good. I'm just not a, again, old guy. I don't stream. I'm not a fan, so Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Now, if you believe the talk around the campfire, the reports, Mike Johnson, PW Insider, talking about Drew was very upset about allegedly someone, quote, trying to get all their moves in, and some of the other reports saying Drew wasn't the only one. He was just the most vocal. We don't know who that is, but the fact that Damian Priest eliminated Drew McIntyre, we could see that rivalry. So
yeah, they've still got a beef from Damian beating him for the world championship.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and that is a very interesting story that came out as well. If you didn't hear about that, after Drew was eliminated from the match, he went to the back and was just fired up and saying that, somebody, they messed up some stories. They were just trying to perform for themselves. The name has not come out yet. Dave Meltzer was hinting at it last night that he thinks he knows who it is, but he was waiting to get confirmation. So I'm sure more on that story is going to come up. I mean, I didn't see anything that was outrageous, but obviously there was something planned that didn't happen. And clearly involved Drew, and he's ticked. So, I mean, Drew's a little bit of a contrarian sometimes. We all know that, but I would certainly understand if he was trying to set his WrestleMania match up a little bit, or at least the Elimination Chamber, that he'd be a little ticked off.
Yeah, and again, the report from Wrestling Observer saying that Dave Meltzer, he confirmed the story about Drew being upset, adding that McIntyre was not the only one upset about the situation.
Yeah,
that's quoted from their report. So, and Meltzer says, quote, "It's multiple people telling me that the Drew thing was he wasn't happy. It's not an angle. I heard that Drew was not the only one unhappy about the situation." So, could that be? I mean, I think we might get if we don't hear the name, we might get a guess. If it's multiple people unhappy about it, could it affect that person's push?
Right,
after being pushed. I guess we'll have to wait and see if there's any clues that we can discern from what happened.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again, but maybe some of the suspects, Logan Paul, LA Knight, Damian Priest. I mean, Dominic was in there for a while too, around that point. So yeah, we'll get some detective work done around here, I'm sure. But yeah, so Drew McIntyre was not happy. But now this is wrapped up, and we wonder if The Rock is going to be doing anything with WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes does not have an opponent at the moment, and this card I think is going to be a classic. If you had to, you guys were talking about the Punk Rollins Reigns brouhaha at the end. Do you think you do a triple threat? Do you do Reigns and Rollins? And maybe turn Punk loose after Cody or something like that. What would you do with that situation if you guys, Stu? What do you think?
I could see a one-on-one match at Chamber. Maybe do Reigns and Rollins, and then have Punk get involved and turn it into a triple threat at WrestleMania.
And
Jason, the problem is even a one-on-one match seems almost too big for Elimination Chamber, and among any of the three.
Oh, and I know Jason and I were talking, and Jason came up with an idea too that, maybe this is part of a setup for Elimination Chamber, that you're going to throw those three guys in. John Cena's in there, maybe Drew, and then pick your poison for number 6. Jason, that could be maybe what this was somewhat all about.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a huge Elimination Chamber when you look at it. If you're talking about those 4 to 5 guys right there, and then like you said, pick your poison for the next one. Just a huge match. You could throw in an AJ Styles in there. You could throw in a Solo Sikoa into there. You could throw a Jacob Fatu into there.
Oh,
and and it would be an incredible match. Just an absolutely incredible match.
Yeah, or as much as I hate to say, Logan Paul might be a 6th guy in that too, given what happened.
So
no,
yeah, I don't think so either.
He doesn't fit. I mean,
well, it wouldn't be the first time somebody didn't fit in an
it
Elimination
wouldn't.
Chamber.
But I don't know. It just, and again, maybe it's just my bias against him, but I don't see him getting in the elimination. I think it's going to be somebody else. I mean, if you're going to have all those heavy hitters, you kind of want to round it out with another heavy hitter. I don't think, because if Logan Paul gets in, it almost screams for him to get eliminated.
Yes. And eliminated early.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe Damian Priest, Sammy, that's a possibility. Oh, God, Dominic weasels his way into that. Oh, my God. Unbelievable.
And, well, speaking of Dominic, you still could even throw a Finn Balor in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad putting him in an elimination chamber with those other heavy hitters.
Yeah, that's part of the fun right now that we've got with all the organizations. We're dealing with most of the WWE right now, but God, there's just so much depth in this company, like we've never seen. I mean, it is amazing, and it's a testament to how good this Royal Rumble match was. That you really had almost no guys that you're like, yeah, because we've had that in the past where we've seen Royal Rumbles where half the field is just like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's, I mean, kudos to WWE on building a very strong roster. This was probably one of the better Royal Rumbles in recent memory.
It definitely was.
Yes.
And I think it could lead to one of the better WrestleManias in recent memory.
Well, Stu, you got to get your butt out here. You need to come out.
Well, I'll see.
Come on.
I'll see what I can do. Because I'm also thinking, a real honest goodness vacation. So plus I'm on the Austin FC beat now. So I may have
what soccer?
Yes,
you are going to pass up WrestleMania for soccer?
Well, it's cheaper. Oh. It's cheaper because Q2 Stadium is about 10 minutes from my apartment. So,
Oh, you soccer people.
But this is the Super Bowl of wrestling.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
What are you doing?
Look, if I was still in radio, I would be in New Orleans right now getting ready for Super Bowl Radio Row for the 10th time. So I believe me, I know Super Bowls. I was looking at, I'll be honest, I was looking at flights.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We'll see. Get all
the gang back together. It could be fun,
Yeah.
You gotta host here. So
I
gotta
appreciate
cover
that. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, let's take a break as we continue. We'll harass Stu Myrick during the break to come out for WrestleMania. But a couple or smaller stories. But oh boy, this Janelle Grant lawsuit, guys. Yikes. That just got worse. Another like 35 pages added to the complaint. We're going to mention that real quick, and then I'm going to crow a little bit about a certain wrestling team. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
Nevada SPCA is the community shelter, funded by the community for for the community. I'm Executive Director Lori Herron. We are the original no-kill animal shelter in Southern Nevada, and our community support program provides food and veterinary assistance to pet owners in need to keep pets where they belong with the owners who love them. If you need help, go to nevadaspca.org under Pet Assistance. Donate today at nevadaspca.org.
Find happiness, Nevada SPCA.
Unsafe sleep conditions cause serious injury and even death to infants. Never sleep with your baby on a sofa, in a chair, or in an adult bed. Protect the baby you love from becoming a tragic statistic. The only safe place for your baby to sleep is alone, on its back, in a crib, and in your room. For more information, visit cribsforkids.org. That's cribsforkids.org. This message is sponsored by the Division of Public and Behavioral Health, aired in cooperation with the Nevada Broadcasters Association and this station.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Empower. Nick bought a new guitar, a 62 American Classic Electric. Does he know how to play? No. But Nick's Empower investment account has performed well. He got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. This is a really good guitar solo.
Now is the perfect time to start on your next success. When you apply to University of Maryland Global Campus by February 12th, you'll pay no application fee. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid courses. Plus, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. Get your application fee waived through February 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
1015 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
Dear God, that was one of the worst ads I've ever heard in my life. I'm Mark Hoke. Thanks for being with us. Sorry, that was not one of our guys that produced that guitar solo thing. I don't know. But anyway. Welcome back.
Solo.
Yeah. That was terrible.
Hey, by the way, you were plugging the Odyssey app?
Yeah.
I bet you people want to listen to my buds up in the Metroplex with this Luka Doncic trade to the Lakers.
My God.
Oh my God. I'm looking at so my buds, there's a Odyssey station, 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. They're the flagship for the Dallas Cowboys. But I am seeing all of my media, friends up in Dallas Fort Worth and everybody. I saw somebody compare this to when the Vikings traded Herschel Walker to the Cowboys.
It's a strange trade. If you didn't see it, the Luka Doncic got traded from the Mavericks to the Lakers. Anthony Davis, the main player in the trade for the Lakers to Dallas. They must hate Luka. I don't know if there's any other explanation for it. They must just hate that man with a passion. But yeah, that took I'm looking for Royal Rumble stuff last night, and all of a sudden all I'm seeing is that trade. So yeah, that's pretty messy. I actually heard the trade compared to Joe Biden's trade for Brittany Griner for the Merchant of Death. I saw that line. I was like, okay, say what you got to say, brother. It's all good. Welcome to the world of social media. But one thing that broke this week, and actually like a couple days ago, the Janelle Grant lawsuit, with, of course, with all that salacious stuff with Vince McMahon, has been amended, and names have been named that weren't named before in this, including Brock Lesnar. We kind of knew it was Brock from the way the person was described, as it was anonymous in the last one. But there's more allegations about Vince having Janelle Grant produce pornographic material for Michael Hayes, of course, the fabulous Freebird guy, and produced road agent producer for WWE, sending it out to the production crew, and some weird stuff that she did here too. There's one text that they put in that says, "Dear Vince's crew, hope you're enjoying these pics XOXO," which I thought was a little odd. And another text says, "Hey Michael, Vince's stories are true and I love to live up to hype XOXO." Some weird stuff, fellas. This thing is a mess, and I don't know how you're going to get this cleared up. But if this goes to trial, good God, this could be devastating for WWE. Stu?
Yeah, this is, I hesitate to comment just because it's ongoing litigation, but wow, it's bad. The Michael Hayes thing, look, especially those of us in Texas, we've heard all the stories about him and the Freebirds and all the shenanigans and the bad stuff, and so I guess I'm not too surprised he got named in this, but it's it's gonna be and I got a feeling it's gonna get nastier before it gets settled. So I think it's a matter of just hold on to your hats.
Yeah, Stephanie McMahon was also named in this, as Grant claimed that she, Nick Khan, Brad Bloom, another WWE executive, Brian Nurse, enabled Vince McMahon's conduct, that there was a corner office constructed for John Laurinaitis, with a shared wall with Triple H's office, included an internal door connected directly into Laurinaitis' office. Jesus, Jason, you got to be kidding me.
This is, like we just said, this is messy. It's going to get even messier. It's really going to, they're definitely pulling the curtain further and further back here.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a whole lot to say about it. Just letting people know what's going on. But this thing is just, wow. I mean, you couldn't have made up a movie that just, Anyway, read the lawsuit sometime if sometime like way after or before you've had a meal. Just please. Real quick, AEW Revolution. We're going to get Moxley and Cope, it looks like. Guys excited about that one?
If Cope can get the title off Mox.
Fair enough. Jason, you excited about Moxley and Cope?
Well, first off, I don't like the name Cope.
Yeah,
but just outside of that,
that's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be entertaining. I'm gonna go a little opposite of Stu here. I'd like to see Mox come out a champ on that one, but I think it's gonna be entertaining.
I have voiced my criticisms on this show multiple times. It's time for the Death Riders to go away.
Now, John is telling you, be patient.
Nope.
He's telling you, be patient. You're not listening to him?
I can't tell what he's saying. I mean, I heard the clips from his deal with Renee. I still don't know what he's saying. Again, and I compared it to early Bray Wyatt promos, and God rest his soul. Bray Wyatt could spend 5 minutes saying nothing. Yeah. The Mox thing right now, that's what I'm getting. And it's, not to mention Dynamite, you had nothing but heat. All the bad guys won. It's like, what are you doing? You're not going to give any hope to anything?
The sun's going to rise someday in AEW, Stu. Be patient. It will.
I hope it rises in LA. I don't want to have to wait till they come to Arlington.
Well, the sun rose in Happy Valley this weekend because I got to get this in because Penn State kicked the living hell out of Iowa 30-8 in just a spectacular run for Penn State. And, you know, if you're a wrestling person and you're not watching this Penn State team, they're pretty incredible. I mean, this Iowa team would probably win a national title in a lot of years, but Penn State just tore them up, including one of the wrestlers, 12 seconds, holding his number one ranked opponent in the air and fist pumping at the end of the match. Absolutely amazing. So congratulations to Penn State as they continue to try to win their 11th national title in 13 years. Great run for those guys. All right, that's it for us. Stu Myrick, thank you for joining us. Jason Halperin as well, at Stu Myrick. Sports Guys Talking Wrestling is his show. Jason Myrick, he's at LV_HitMN. And I'm Mark Hoke, at Mark Hoke Show on X, Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, YouTube, The Mark Hoke Show. Give us likes, follow, subscribes, whatever you need to do. Just do it. We'll see you next week, everybody. Have a great day, Las Vegas. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show, like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.
Personal injury law has been the same for a long time. Big egos, greed, and